This is a short introductory video to the new game Showboat. Showboat is a game about the showboats, the floating theatres that ran up and down the Mississippi River in the 19th century. In this game, you play the captain of a showboat, captain and owner, and your aim in the game is to make the most money. It's a fairly straightforward game. At any one point, you can take one of exactly 4 actions. We'll go through those in a minute. The arc of the game is governed by this calendar track, which starts at the beginning of March and ends at the end of November. At the end of November, the game ends. In each of these weeks or rounds, there is 1 turn per player. That's not quite the same as saying there are 36 turns per player, because the turn order in the game can change instantaneously. So let's talk through the 4 actions, which are depicted on the bottom right of the board here. They are move your boat, market, which is about buying some of these tiles that are placed on the board here, and the 2 at the bottom are playing and packet, which are the 2 that actually earn you the money. So start not in order and with the 2 that earn you the money, because that's how you're going to win the game. So play, as the name suggests, you simply put on a show in a town, play and earn the money for it. So, for example, there are these 21 towns down the board, starting from Minneapolis at the very top and finishing at New Orleans at the very bottom. If you are in a town where the demand is greater than 0, come on to that in a minute, then you can take a play action. So for example, the yellow boat is in Prairie du Chien. The demand is given by the local demand dice. These dice down the board, there's one for every town. So the value on that, adjusted by the weather card for the state. Prairie du Chien is in Iowa. The town demand is 3. The weather demand adjustment is +1. So the total demand in Prairie du Chien at this time is 4. That's greater than 0. Yellow can play. That means he can put a counter on one of these 2 spaces and earn the money for it. If you place your counter on the left-hand space, you earn the value shown on the dice as a plus the adjustment on the weather card. If you place your counter on the right-hand space, you earn the value shown on the white side of the dice, the minimum, which in this case is 0, plus or minus any adjustment here. In this case, both of those are greater than 0, 0 plus 1 or 3 plus 1. Yellow can choose. Obviously, the one on the left is going to pay more most of the time. So if yellow places his counter there, he earns 3 plus 1, so 4. 4 money into his personal supply. He then reduces this value on this dice by a fixed number according to the number of players in the game. In a 4-player game, he reduces it by 2. So in this case, it's gone down to 1. That means the next player here will only receive 1 plus 1. That's the play action. The other money-making action is the packet action. At the start of the game, there are a set of packet cards arrayed at the top and bottom of the board. The ones at the top start from Minneapolis and have to be delivered to New Orleans. The ones at the bottom start from New Orleans, have to be delivered to Minneapolis. You pick one up at the starting point, and when you deliver it at the finishing point, it will pay out according to what it says on the card. So this one here, for example, will pay out $1 for every point you are on this celebrity track by the time you reach New Orleans. Similarly, this one down here, picked up from New Orleans, will pay out $3 for every counter you've placed in these play spaces that we were just talking about when you reach Minneapolis. In a packet action, you can, in order, drop off a packet and then pick up a new packet. You can have at most 1 packet on your boat at any time. So you only take them when you're in Minneapolis or New Orleans. They will pay out what can be potentially quite a large amount of money in the grand scheme of things. And that's it. Those are the only ways you can get money to win the game. Other than that, you will be moving around and possibly buying things. So moving next. There are two variants of moving, depending on the whether you're playing the easy or the hard game. We're going to just cover the easy one for now. You can move a standard amount or up to a standard 5 spaces, which is your boat speed, adjusted up or down by the river speed. So down at the bottom here, there is this river speed track, which can go anywhere between 1 and 4. At the moment, we've set it to 3. So if the river speed is 3 and the underlying base boat speed is 5, let's take Red here. Red is on space number 16. He can move 5 plus the river speed of 3 southbound, which is the direction the river flows in. The river always flows south. So he can move up to as far as space 24 in that direction. Going north, he can move 5 minus the river speed, so he can move only as far as 14, 5 minus 3, going north. That is all there is to it as far as movement is concerned, other than on the numbers track, there are blue spaces which denote open river and yellow and green spaces which correspond to the towns. If you end your movement in a town which contains another boat whose position on the celebrity track is lower than yours, then you can exchange places with that boat in the turn order. In this case, green moved from Minneapolis down to La Crosse, where blue already was. Green is ahead of blue on the celebrity track. So green can, as a conclusion of his move, swap his turn order with blue's. Turn then moves on to the next player, which is now green again. So green will get 2 goes in a row in this example. And that's the last bit of movement. You can exchange your position with someone whose celebrity is lower than yours in a town. And finally then, there is the the market action, which is about buying these tiles. So all the way down the board in every town, or not every town, but in many of the towns, there will be these tiles arranged for you to buy. There are 2 types of tiles. There are company tiles, which are the round ones, and there are service tiles, which are the square ones. Company tiles represent actors to join your theatrical company. Square tiles represent other services that you can buy for your boat to make it either faster or somehow more profitable. So the way the actors work, the company, is so let's say we've got green here having just usurped blue's go. He can then take a market action. The way you take a market action, you first must, if there is any face down company tile, you must turn 1 face down company tile in that town over. So there is 1 face down company tile here. Let's first reveal 1. You can then buy anywhere between 0 and 2 of the face up tiles. Service tiles are always face up. Company tiles are only face up once someone has turned them over in the way that we just mentioned, 1 at a time. So if green, they cost $1 each to buy. If green buys this one, he adds it to his existing set of actors in his company. And the amount by which your reputation, your celebrity, beg your pardon, increases is based on the number of different actor types in your guild, in your company. So each of these effectively represents a different role specialism for each actor. So in this case, we've got a third different role specialism. that means we can increase our celebrity by 3 points, for one for each of the different types we now have. So green will go up from 3 to 6. If this were a different type that was matching that type, then it wouldn't be an increase to the diversity of the company, it would only be an increase to the size of it, and it would only move up in that case by 1. There are 6 different types of actors, and that is their only significance, the difference that they have between each other. For the other tiles, the service tiles, which also cost 1, these add various powers to your boat. So for example, this blue one here, which is the pilot service, will allow you to make one, to use it later on to make one move, treating the river speed as if it were 0. This fortune teller card allows you to preview the next weather cards. We'll come into the importance of them in a second. This advertising one allows you to always take them, or to use it once to take the maximum demand value on the dice in a town. And this sail card tile allows you, any time the wind is pointing in the direction that you want to move in, to gain an extra 2 boat speed when you move. So, and there are various others which have effects either on movement or amount of money you make, or possibly on where you are on the celebrity track. So you can accumulate up to 2 of those on your turn as a market action. That's the 4 actions. So you, as I said, you're going to play through these months. At the end of each month, the only significance of the month changes is that the next weather card gets turned over. And before the next weather card gets turned over, the river speed is adjusted based on the amount of rain and sun that has been happening over the last month. So in this case, at the moment, we have 2 raindrops and 1 sunshine, which means on average that means the river speed is going to increase by 2 minus 1 is 1. If we had 2 sunshines and 1 raindrop, the river speed would decrease by 1. So that will happen, and then the next cards will turn over, which may mean different wind and different demand adjustments for the following month as well. Then you play through until you get to the end of the 36 days, weeks, and when the last action in the last week has been taken, the game ends immediately. The player with the most money is the winner. That is Showboat.